Living life backward nights awake, days lost in sleep isn't for everyone. But for me, it was never a choice. Even as a kid, night was when my mind fired up, and classrooms became my bedroom. Teachers yelling my name, classmates' stares, it was a soundtrack to my childhood naps. By 16, career talks started, and the night shift security guard idea clicked. I'm built like a brick wall, thanks to gym sessions, and have that natural don't mess with me vibe, even though inside I'm more bark than bite. Turns out, my graveyard shift experience led to something different. My boss called me in. Ethan, he said, leaning in, got out a hospital jig, days, pays triple maybe more, high security thing, need someone reliable, a hospital, never done that before, but triple pay, that got my attention. Plus, nailing this could mean a permanent jump in salary. I'm in, I said, straight up. Miller actually looked relieved, like he'd been sweating bullets trying to fill this spot. Thursday next week, Creek General, be there by 10 p.m. sharp. We shook on it, a grim smile creeping onto my face. Silent Creek General. Sounded a minus. Perfect. The week crawled by in a blur of uneventful shifts, a deserted college campus, a late-night burger joint. Easy money, but my mind was already in Silent Creek. Thursday finally hit. I left early, around 8. Silent Creek was a 30-minute drive, but I wanted time to scope the place out. 3 times my usual pay, I wasn't about to screw this up. The drive was jammed, rush hour even out here in the sticks. I pulled up to Silent Creek General around 8:40 p.m. Medieval was the first word that came to mind. Dark brick. Gothic arches, it looked more like a forgotten monastery than a hospital. Small too. Maybe 3 floors, shadowy windows, short, echoing hallways, that's the vibe I got just from the outside. Heavy oak doors groaned open as I stepped inside. The reception lady, the C counter, looked up, a smile that was way too cheerful for face plastered on her face. It was unsettling, like a bright light in a dark room. Evening, I said, trying to sound casual. Ethan Blackwood. Night shift security, starting early. Ethan, she chirped, smile unwavering. Thummy fingers tapped on a keyboard. Gotta love procedure, even in a place like this. Michael sent you? She asked, still smiling. Yeah, Miller, I replied. Right then, she said, finally looking away from the screen. Someone will be down to run you through things. Coffee. Black, please. I said, surprised by her almost eagerness. She bustled off, and a minute later, I was sipping the strongest, darkest coffee I'd ever tasted. Black as midnight, bitter as regret. Fitting. Just as I finished the last drop, a figure loomed up. Another security guard, built like a tank, eyes narrowed, sizing me up. You Blackwood. He grunted, voice like gravel. Didn't expect a kid. He didn't offer a hand, just a cold stare. Name's Marcus, he said, turning away. Follow me. No handshake then. He led me through echoing corridors to a cramped security office, all flickering monitors and shadows. He gave me the camera rundown, a quick tour of the dimly lit floors, the usual security spiel I'd heard 100 times. Then at the door he stopped, pointing to a single sheet of paper on the desk. Last thing, he said, voice low. Rules. Read them. Follow them. No matter how crazy they sound. We'll know if you don't. Trust me. He gave me a look that promised pain if I messed up, then walked out, leaving me alone in the cold, silent room. The clock above the door ticked 9:30 p.m. Shift starts in half an hour. Time to read the rules of Silent Creek General. 7 rules, starkly typed on cheap paper. They might as well have been etched in stone for the weight they carried. Rule 1: a shift begins 10 p.m. Security room by then. 10:50 p.m. to 11 p.m. Patrol. Building clear of people. Anyone found, escort them out. Standard stuff, if a bit formal. Rule 2: between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. Young woman at front door. Asks for husband. Ignore. Pretend she's not there until she leaves. Okay, that's specific and weird. Rule 3: ICU lights must stay on. Shift. Long. Lights off. Go there. Turn them back on. Screaming with lights off. Bathroom. Stay till screaming stops. Then, lights back on. In the ICU. This was getting weirder by the rule. Rule 4: cafeteria. Little girl. Teddy bear there. Silent. She looks at you. Back to security room. She speaks. Talk back. Till she leaves. A creepy kid in an empty hospital cafeteria at night. Nope, definitely not planned. This was something else. Rule 5: 1 a.m. General ward check. Patient sitting up. Ask if they're okay, their requests, fulfill them. Other talk, ignore. Fulfill their requests? Like what? And why only if they're sitting up? Rule 6: rain starts, front door open. Shelter seekers allowed in. Everyone leaves when rain stops. Someone missing. Security cameras. Don't look at them. Letting strangers into a hospital in the middle of the night. And then don't look at the missing ones on camera. What was that about? Rule 7. This one was just black ink on white paper, but it felt like ice water down my spine. Cameras off. Anytime. Hide, for you won't find your life. You hide and pray. Not report it, not fix it. Pray. I put the paper down, a hollow laugh escaping me. Right? Has to be. But deep down, a cold knot of unease was tightening in my gut. This was a hospital, sure, but Silent Creek General felt wrong. Too quiet, too many shadows clinging to the corners. And these rules, they weren't funny. They were chilling. Maybe Miller wasn't testing my trustworthiness. Maybe he was testing my sanity. I reread the rules, slow, deliberate, trying to find the punchline. There wasn't one. Just 7 shades of bizarre. Fine, let's play along. Show Miller I can handle whatever weirdness Silent Creek threw at me. Show him I could follow any rule, no matter how insane. Clock at 10:00 PM time to earn triple pay. I swiveled to face the bank of security monitors. Static snowed across most of them. A few flickered with grainy, black and white views of empty hallways. 15 minutes to patrol. Might as well kill time. Phone in hand, doomed, scrolling through memes and news I wouldn't remember tomorrow. Time vanished, felt like seconds, but the clock read 10:15 PM patrol time. I pushed back from the chair, legs stiff, and stepped out of the security room. Top floor down seemed logical. Elevator groaned to life, hauling me upwards. 3rd floor. Hallways stretched out, dim and silent. Rooms on either side, doors mostly closed, windows dark. I checked each room, every shadowy corner, even the echoing bathrooms. Nothing. Just the stale smell of disinfectant and something elsey, something metallic, underlying. Night shift security. 99% boredom, 1% sheer panic. Mostly just being a warm body in a chair just in case. But hey, free coffee, endless snacks. 2nd floor. Same story, empty room, silent halls. Check my phone 10:32 PM. 1st floor next. Then cafeteria snack run. Still bug me, the emptiness. Hospitals are supposed to be buzzing, right? Doctors, nurses, patients moaning, machines beeping. Silent Creek was dead. If Miller was messing with me, he was pulling out all the stops. 1st floor, ICU, security room, front entrance, cafeteria. ICU first, then the rest. Ending with a caffeine and sugar boost in the cafeteria. ICU hallway was colder, the air thick with that metallic scent, stronger here. And then I saw him. Room at the end of the hall, figure standing in the doorway. Old guy, maybe 70, thin white hair, hospital gown hanging loose. Rule 1. Anyone found, escort them out. Suddenly, the rules clicked into place. Miller had to be testing me. Actor in place, ready to go. Sighing inwardly, I walked towards him. "Excuse me, sir," I said, keeping it professional. "Visiting hours are over. You're not supposed to be here." The old man turned, eyes cloudy, unfused. "Can sir?" I repeated, a little louder. "Time to leave. Hospitals closed to visitors." He blinked, then nodded slowly. Followed me without a word, shuffling down the hall, out the heavy front doors, into the night. "Have a good night, sir," I said as he stepped onto the deserted street. He turned back, face lost in shadow, and his voice, when it came, was a dry rasp. "Beware the surgeon." Then he was gone, swallowed by the darkness. "Beware the surgeon." Seriously, Miller was laying it on thick. Dismissing it as part of the act, I finished my patrol, found nothing else, and headed to the cafeteria. Coffee, croissant fuel for a long, weird night. Back in the security room, 10:33 PM chair, phone memes, easy peasy. Or so I thought, phone games blew into minutes then stretched into an hour. Suddenly, the digital clock on my screen glared 11:58 PM, midnight almost, time warp. I glanced at the security monitors, grainy hallways, empty rooms, IU feed, black screen, lights out. Damn it. Rule 3 flashed in my mind, ICU lights must stay on. Cursing my phone addiction, I jumped up, adrenaline spiking. Had no idea how long they'd been off. Rule said turn them on ASIC. I stepped out of the security room, heading for the ICU, and froze. Sound slammed into me, screams. Raw animalistic agony echoing from the ICU hallway. My blood turned to ice. This wasn't an actor. No way Miller staged this. The screams were real, too real. Then, a door creeping somewhere down the hall, followed by footsteps, fast and heavy, heading my way. Instinct took over. Bathroom. Rule 3 again, screaming with lights off. Bathroom. My feet pounded the linoleum, heart hammering against my ribs. 1st floor bathroom, dove inside, slammed the door, fumbled with the lock. Toilet stall. Bolted it shut, breath coming in ragged gasps. Trapped in the cramped store, I tried to make sense of the chaos. Screams still echoing, impossibly loud. How could anyone even be in the hospital? Those screams, they clawed at my sanity staged. No. Impossible. Then, the bathroom door swung open with a bang. Footsteps, the same heavy ones from the hallway, walked in, silence. deafening, broken only by my own frantic breathing. Then a voice, low and sing-song, started whispering, "Welcome to the hospital. Welcome to the hospital. You can come in, but you deranged nursery rhyme." He started tapping on stall doors, one by one. "Welcome to the hospital. Welcome to hospital. Tap, tap, tap down the row. My stop." Louder this time. Through the gap on the door, I saw boots. Heavy work boots, motionless. "Is anyone there?" The voice whispered, tone shifting, deranged to almost pleading. "Open up, don't be shy." My heart hammered against my ribs, a trapped bird. Silence. Frozen, praying he'd just leave, but he stayed, boots planted, voice dropping to a low menacing purr. "Come on, Ethan." My blood ran cold. He knew my name. "How?" "I need your help with something," he cried out, desperation lacing his voice. Silence again. Didn't breathe. After an eternity, the boots shifted, walked away. Out of the bathroom, door creaked shut. One last whisper, echoing in the sudden quiet. "See you soon, Ethan." I stayed locked in the stall, muscles screaming, until the screams from the ICU finally faded. 10, maybe more. Then, slowly, I unlocked the stall, eased the door open, peered out, hallway empty. Heart still pounding, I crept out of the bathroom, towards the ICU, lights still off. Swallowing hard, I flipped the switch. Fluorescent hum, harsh white light flooding the room. Nothing. Empty beds, silent machines. But the air thick with a metallic tang, and something else is something sickly sweet, like rotting fruit. I ran. Didn't stop until I slammed back into the security room, collapsing into the chair, gasping for air. Phone screen flickered, 23:51 AM, almost 1. Adrenaline still coursing, shaking hands, I grabbed the rule sheet, reread them all, frantically. Had I messed up during screaming, ICU lights back on Rule 3, check. Then Rule 5, 1 AM, general ward check. Patient sitting up, ask if they're okay. 1-8 now. Lovely. Another trip into the darkness, but rules were rules. And maybe if I followed them, whatever that was wouldn't come back. Despite the fear twisting in my gut, I hauled myself up again. Stairs this time. Elevator felt like a death trap now. Second floor hallway, heart rate spiking again. Every shadow seemed to writhe. General ward, patient rooms stretched down the hall. As I approached, a sound coughing, racking wet coughs echoing from one of the rooms. Last room on the right. Of course. If bathroom guy was back, longest run possible. Other rooms first. Check them all, one by one. First door. Peered in, a woman in the bed, eyes closed, tubes snaking from her nose, needle in her arm. Sickly sweet smell stronger here. Hospitals always hated them, room after room. Patients, all pale, still hooked to machines. Each room worse than the last. The coughing grew louder as I neared the end of the hall. Last room. Deep breath. Doorway, man in the bed, propped up on pillows. Coughing fit racking his body. He saw me, tried to speak, choked on a cough. WT water, he gasped. Real patient, actually sick. Relief washed over me, so strong it almost buckled my knees. Guilt followed right after. Guy needed help. Actor or not, screams or not, rules or not, he needed water. Cafeteria again. Ran back down, grabbed a paper cup, filled it at the water cooler, sprinted back up, doorway again. He saw the water, hand reaching, eyes desperate. Walked to the bedside, handed him the cup. He drank like he was dying of thirst, gulping it down in seconds, then collapsed back against the pillows, coughing finally easing. "Thank you," he croaked. "No problem, man." Sounded rough, I said, feeling a flicker of something human again. Something besides pure terror, a minute of silence, awkward. Time to go. Turn to leave, hand on the door handle. His voice, suddenly different, harder, colder. "Come sit with me, my friend." His voice chilled me. Slowly I turned back. His eyes, no longer desperate, were fixed on me, cold and sharp. No choice. Rule 5. Fulfill their requests. I sat back down on the edge of the bed, every nerve screaming. "What's up?" I managed, voice cracking, confidence gone. "I'm not going to hurt you, son," he said, a strange smile twisting his lips. "Appreciate you helping me." "You see the surgeon, he stuffed a can of cinnamon down my throat." Couldn't breathe cinnamon. Down his throat. Disbelief warred with the creeping dread. Then, the old man's warning echoed in my head, beware the surgeon. Yes, he did. The patient rasped, confirming my nightmare. "Wanted to warn you, right? First time here? Figured you should know. Maniac in the building, surgeon. But you follow the rules, kid. You'll be fine." I stared at him, heart hammering. Surgeon maniac, cinnamon. This was insane. But the screams, the whispers, the rules, it all clicked into place, a horrifying jigsaw puzzle. Taking a shaky breath, I stood up. "Thanks," I mumbled, backing away. "Got to get back to work." He didn't stop me, didn't say another word. just watched me go, that chilling smile still playing on his lips. I bolted from the room, hallway lights seeming to flicker and dim as I ran. Security room. Sanctuary. Except nowhere felt safe anymore. As I reached the second floor landing, a crash from above, third floor. Something heavy falling. Every instinct screamed no. No way I was going up there. Rules be damned. If you do what the rules say, kid, you'll be fine. Leah, security room door handle. Salvation, I yanked it open, stumbled inside, slammed it shut. Relief, fragile and fleeting, washed over me. Clock at the door of 5:03 a.m, almost 2. Still hours to go. Rule sheet again. Please no more rules about leaving this room. Thank God, nothing. Just survive till 6. Prayed to whatever was listening that the rest of the night would be blessedly, mind-numbingly boring. Exhaustion hit me like a truck. Adrenaline crash. Staring at the monitors, eyelids heavy, mind-drifting chair warmth. Darkness. Sleep. Woke up disoriented, heart pounding. Where silent creek general. Night shift. Nightmare. 2 full dark, 2 fight aim, still silent on the monitors. Coffee. Needed coffee. Cafeteria. Empty. Coffee machine gurgled, dark liquid filling the paper cup. Mesmerized by the swirling brown, I turned back to the security room. And froze. Coffee splashed, scalding my hand, cup clattering to the floor. Cafeteria wasn't empty. Little girl. Sitting at a table in the shadows. Teddy bear clutched in her hand. Rules, rules, what did they say about the girl? Grain couldn't remember. Then she turned, stared right at me. White dress, pink shirt, blonde curls. Teddy bear with button eyes, one hanging by a thread. Expressionless. Unblinking. Uncomfortable, didn't even begin to cover it. Rules, sit next to her. Don't say a word. She looks back to security room, but she was already looking. Too late, sit. Sit next to her. Reluctantly, I moved, every step heavy, towards the table. Sat down opposite her. Stared at the tabletop. Silence stretched, thick and suffocating. Then a giggle. Hi, childish, utterly chilling. She covered her mouth with one hand, teddy bear still clutched in the other. You forgot the rules, she whispered, voice like nails on a chalkboard, laced with cruel amusement. Confused, panicked. Had I? She saw my face, giggled again, enjoying my terror. Want to play hide and seek? She chirped, suddenly bright like a normal kid. I'll count to 60, then we'll find you. We didn't want to know. Candy store kid look in her eyes, but this candy was poison. I bolted. Coffee forgotten, splattered on the linoleum. Security room. Ran, heard her counting behind me, echoing in the empty halls. 1, 2, 3, forever will find you. 4, 5, 6, in the darkness cease to exist. Security room. Door slammed, locked. Rule sheet. Frantic eyes scanned rule 4. See if she speaks to you, talk back until she leaves. Talk back, not run. Talk back, mistake. Huge mistake. Then darkness. Security monitors flickered, died. Black screens reflecting my own terrified face. Rule 7. Cameras off. Hide. Prayed. No plan. Just run. Security room death trap now. Front door. Escape. Grabbed the handle, yanked. Solid. Kicked it. Shoulder slammed it, nothing. 52. 50, 54, 55, prepare to run for your life. Her voice, closer now, singing from the hallway outside. Panic, dizziness, body moving on autopilot, upstairs, second floor. Patient's room, water guy, maybe he could help. Door open, room empty, bed stripped, didn't matter, hiding, needed to hide, ceiling tiles. Only option stood on the bed, reached up, fingers scrabbling at the edge of a tile. Accidentally kicked the bedside table, photo frame crashed to the floor, silence. Then a shriek, sharp and inhuman. Running footsteps, pounding closer. I know you're in here. Adrenaline surge. Jumped, grabbed the tile, ripped it loose, hauled myself up into the darkness above. Ceiling groaned under my weight. Blocked the hole, lay flat, still. Heart screaming louder than she was. Little girl in the room. Tiptoeing. I know you're in here, I heard you drop something. Playful voice laced with menace. Broom handle poked through the ceiling, vibration shuddering through the tiles. Almost jumped. Held still, breathless. Guess you're not here then, she said, voice dripping disappointment. Footsteps faded. Gone. For now. Ceiling tiles creaking, about to give way. Had to move. Slowly, silently. Lowered myself back into the room. Hallway. Peered out. Empty. Slipped out of the room. Moved like a ghost down the hall. Downstairs. First floor. Maybe she'd given up. Gone back to the cafeteria. Turned the corner. Silhouette. Man. Standing near the ICU. Turned towards me. Bathroom. No, janitor's closet. Under the stairs, dark, cramped, desperate. Door open, squeezed inside. Behind a cleaning cart, trash bags. Darkness swallowed me whole. Just in time, bathroom door creaked open. Man's voice, familiar, echoing. What's a patient of mine doing out of his room so late? Then, realization, surgeon. Bathroom guy. Same voice, same deranged tone. You were smart enough to hide somewhere else this time. Impressed. Not as stupid as you look. Janitor's closet door creaked open. Light spilled in. He peered inside. Too small. Right, wrong, close the door. Darkness again. Trap. Drill word to life somewhere nearby then. A scream. Agony. Surgeon's laughing maniacal. Phone time. 5:45 AMITs. Just 15 minutes. Hold on. Darkness closed in. Hopeless. Defeated. Exhaustion pulled me under. Sleep. Woke up to a gentle voice. Grown old man. Janitor. Surprised to find me crammed in his closet. Knew. He just knew. It's over. You can come out now. While stiff aching, I crawled out of the closet, back into the hallway. Daylight filtering through the front doors. Hospital transformed. Not menacing, not gothic. Just worn, tired. Thanked the janitor, walked out into the morning light, and didn't look back. Drove home, collapsed into bed, vivid dreams still clinging to me. Told Miller I was sick. Ignored his calls. Week later, back on my usual boring shifts. University campus. Burger joint. For anything. Anything was better than another night at Silent Creek General.